Hi everybody, and welcome to day 39 of Index Card a Day. Sorry I didn't get this video to you yesterday, but it was a very busy day. So I'm trying the technique that Tim Holtz did in one of his videos. I don't know if he has a name for it, I can't remember. But he uses distress ink and then an ink blending foam and blends it while it's still wet. So that is what I'm doing. I used mustard seed on that first stamp from the professor, and now I'm going to take another one from the professor, and I'm going in with the same color. I did this technique once, like when I watched the class or the demo, and I really liked it, and I liked how it turned out, but I haven't been successful since, so I may have to watch it over again. So now I'm going in with carved pumpkin and a stamp from Documented. And for this technique, he just used the same, like he got a blending foam just for this technique, and he doesn't change it out. He uses the same one on, like for me, goodness, I can't talk. For this, like I use the same blending foam for every stamped image that I do. I didn't change it out depending on what color or color family that I was using. So I'm going in with Festive Berries, and this stamp is from Grunged. I don't tend to like the red blended. Like the other ones seem fine, but I don't know if it's because the red is so vibrant. I just didn't care for it being blended out. I'm using Grunged again, and this is Chipped Sapphire, and I think this is where, like, I don't think this color should have been added. I think it was too much for this technique. And I knew it once I stamped it too, but I just kept going. And I know normally I don't clean my stamps and stencils, but with this being a water reactive ink, I do quickly wipe them off. Going in with Carved Pumpkin again and Tim Holtz Stenciled Shreds. I don't even think you see this on the final card. Like I'm looking at the card now and I don't really see how it shows up. And it looks nothing like this. Maybe I should have got Mark to do this voiceover too. Would have been all his Tim Holtz products that he likes. Now I'm using an oxide ink in tumbled glass. I think at this point I don't really like it, so I'm just trying things. Oh, and that, I think that was frayed burlap maybe, or brushed corduroy, I can't remember. Yeah, brushed corduroy. So you see, once I did that, a lot of the background that I had done just disappeared, which is not surprising. I mean, all the inks are water reactive, so. And I didn't really care because, like I said, I wasn't digging the background anyways. It's another Tim Holtz stencil. I don't know the name of it. I really wish their stencils came with the names on them. It would make things so much easier. And that didn't show up a whole lot either. That's walnut stain, distress stain. So I'm going back with that stencil again and using brushed corduroy oxide spray. Like I said, I'm just trying things to hopefully get it to a point where I actually like how it's looking. And at this point I'm not, so it's like anything is fair game. Just throw it all on there. So another Tim Holtz stencil with walnut stain, distress stain. And I don't mind it at this point. And this is a Tim Holtz stamp. It's from, like, the image is from a set that he has, and I don't know the name of the set, but a lot of his images he has available like this, just single on a wooden block. And I really wanted a skull stamp for some reason. And I didn't want the whole stamp set. It's cheaper to buy one single stamp, especially if you don't really care for the whole set. So I have this one, and it may be from a Halloween set, I don't know, and that would be a good reason for me not to purchase the whole set because I'm not a theme person. I would have preferred if it came out a bit bolder, but in the end I like how it looks on the card. my Walnut Stain Distress Oxide and going around and grunging up the card a bit. So it's taking on a whole new look than I originally had planned. I think first I was thinking like a bright, colorful background, and then it ended up being a dark, grungy background. So I'm using the Professor again and Burn Door Archival ink. So I had this idea to cover up one of his eyes, or eye sockets. So that is what I'm using this image for. But it wasn't bold enough. And this is an eye from one of his stamp sets as well. There's more to it, but I cut it down. And I was going to use the eye first, but it just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't turning out the way I wanted it to. So now I'm taking that same stamp and I'm stamping it again on a piece of plastic, and I'm going to emboss it with red embossing powder. And that will make it stand out more. And I try being careful when embossing it, because if you leave the heat on it too long, the embossing powder can turn white because it's like it's getting scorched, and I want it to stay nice and red. So for this plastic, like, I don't go out and buy plastic. If I buy something and it comes with a nice piece of sturdy plastic, I'll just keep it and tuck it aside, because you never know when you'll want it for things like this. So I decided to use the fly instead of the eye from Oddities. And there was a lot of fussy cutting for that little fly. But I do love how it looks cut out. And as much as I didn't enjoy cutting it out, I know I'll do it again, because I really like the look of it. And I like the look of it over the eye socket instead of the eye. So I'm just taking one of Tim Holtz's chipboard words or quotes, going around it with some walnut stain to distress it a little bit and make it look like it goes with the background a little better. And I'm going to adhere it with some double-sided sticky tape. And to attach the fly, I have these like clear, I don't know what they're called. I think they were just called dots, but they're like adhesive in these clear circles. So I take some and I cut them, and some I just roll up and I put it under parts of the fly. So I wanted it to be a little bit raised, so that's why I'm rolling up the glue dots to give it a bit of dimension. And oh, I do take it to my sewing machine. Oh, I've already done it because I can see the stitching. And instead of gluing down the plastic, I just sewed around that inner circle. I didn't do the best job, but you don't really notice it in the end. And if you do, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. So that is it for day 39. I am going to get this video uploaded to YouTube before I go to work, and then hopefully, I don't know if I will be able to, but I'm going to try and get a second one done that I can post later today. So that'll be 2 videos today, if I can, because I have other stuff that I have to get done as well. But I will try my best. Thanks for your patience. Bye.